Hello everybody, this is Van Hargis with Van Hargis Horsemanship, and I appreciate you guys joining me on the ranch road. We are actually on our way back from Cuero, Texas. We've been getting some horse feed over there, and I can't say enough about the quality of the horse feed from those folks, and of course the quality people. I'm just always so ecstatic about going over there and picking up my feed, seeing all the smiling faces and everything that goes along with that. Just makes the entire experience really good, very positive. But anyway, I'm going to address a question for you today, another question that came up. I just got through checking my phone again and was looking at some of the questions so that I could be as productive as possible in making these road trips like today. And one of which has to do with my rear cinch. You know, number one, people ask, you know, Mr. Van, we never see you without a rear cinch on your saddles. So is it that essential that you have a rear cinch on your saddles? And in my case, yes. And the reason why is that I am almost always in preparation mode. In other words, I'm not just training horses for me, I'm training horses for the public. And oftentimes I don't necessarily know without any reasonable doubt as to what a client is going to do completely with their horses when it leaves here. So I just try to get them as prepared for as many things as I can, which includes the rear cinch. And I just mentioned that to one of my students the other day, and they said, well, how tight do we tighten it? Well, on the average, when I'm just riding my horses, I will pull the rear cinch up to where it touches their belly, and I'll pull it up, not really snug, but just pull it up to where it touches, put it in the nearest notch. It might be a little bit tighter, it might be a little bit looser, and then I just kind of go from there. And in other words, I just kind of want it to where it's making contact with their belly. But at the same time, from time to time, I might pull it up a little bit snug. And the reason why, again, I just want the horses to get used to it. However, on the horses that are going to be made ranch horses or rope horses, then I'm going to pull that up just a little bit more snug from time to time and ride them around a little bit more with that rear cinch kind of snug, more snug than not. And then once I find myself about to go into the roping pen, in other words, I'm actually going to go rope something, or if I'm going to go pull out there and go rope a bull or a cow or something of significant size, I'm going to reach down and pull that rear cinch up dang near as tight as I can get it. In other words, I really want it pulled up there tight. And the reason why that is because, number one, yeah, it could impede their breathing a little bit, but not much. In other words, their lungs aren't going to be able to expand as much as they fully would. But the reality is, I'm not going to be roping and leaving that darn thing tight for a long and extended period of time. I'm usually just going to only leave it that tight, that snug, just while I'm roping. So in other words, I know I'm about to go rope a bull, for example, and I'm gonna reach back there and I'm gonna pull that rear cinch up as tight as I can get it. And then I'm gonna go rope my bull, do whatever we need to do, and then when I'm done and that bull's no longer pulling on my darn saddle horn, I'll reach back there and loosen that rear cinch off again, letting that horse get his air, let him expand, let him be more comfortable. So to me, I'm only gonna have that rear cinch pulled up really tight, really snug, only when I know there's going to be some real pull and some real jerk on that saddle. The reason why is I don't ever want that saddle to ever get tipped forward and actually pressing on the back of that horse's shoulder blades and or withers, running the risk of soaring up my horse up there on the front end. And whenever I've got that rear cinch pulled really snug in the back, and I mean really snug in the back, it makes the saddle fit much more squarely and evenly on that horse's back, and that way no matter where I take a jerk, it's really making sure that that pull and all of that added weight and all that added pressure is being dispersed as evenly as possible across that horse's entire back, as opposed to just a couple of very specific points. So to answer your question, do I almost always ride my horses with the rear cinch? The answer to that is almost always yes. You will hardly ever see any of my saddles without a rear cinch rigged on it. And again, majority of the time, I'm just preparing my horses and keeping them prepared for when we may need it. And then next thing is, if I find myself in a situation where I'm about to rope something, bull, fairly significant size calf or something like that, I'm going to reach back and tighten that rear cinch up darn near as tight as I can get it, so that it's incredibly tight and snug on my horse, therefore pulling my saddle down on his back very nice and even, so that it disperses any additional weight and pressure, disperses that weight as evenly as possible. Anyway, I hope that little tidbit helps you. Until next time, this is Van Hargis with Van Hargis Horsemanship.